How did medieval trade routes start global commodities? Imagine a world where spices from Asia, gold from Africa, and silks from China all traveled thousands of miles to reach European markets. How did these distant goods become part of everyday life in medieval Europe? The story begins with the growth of trade routes during the High Middle Ages, roughly from the year 1000 to 1300. Back then, most trade was local because transporting goods was slow and expensive. Roads were rough, ships were small, and dangers like pirates and bad weather made long journeys risky. But things started to change as improvements in shipbuilding, like the development of larger, sturdier ships called cogs, made sea travel safer and faster. These ships could carry more goods across the Mediterranean and Atlantic, lowering costs and opening new markets. At the same time, powerful city-states like Venice and Genoa built large fleets that controlled much of the Mediterranean trade. These cities became hubs where merchants bought and sold goods from different regions. They also built warehouses and trading posts along coastlines, making it easier to store and transfer goods. The Crusades, which were military campaigns to the Holy Land, also played a big role. They increased demand for Eastern products like spices, sugar, and silk, which fueled trade routes reaching into Asia and Africa. In Northern Europe, the Hanseatic League formed as a group of trading cities around the Baltic and North Seas. This alliance protected merchants and promoted the exchange of furs, timber, and metals. Major trade fairs, like those in Champagne and Frankfurt, brought together merchants from many regions. They exchanged goods, money, and ideas, helping local economies grow and connect with distant markets. Trade routes also linked with the famous Silk Road, which connected China with the Middle East and Europe. This route allowed luxury items like silk and spices to travel from Asia to Europe. The trans-Saharan routes across Africa brought gold and salt to Mediterranean markets, often carried by camel caravans across the Sahara Desert. These routes created a web of commerce that connected continents and cultures. European merchants started to develop new ways of financing long-distance trade. They formed partnerships where investors provided money and merchants managed the goods and ships. This helped fund larger and more frequent trading expeditions. Over time, these routes and practices laid the foundation for a global exchange of goods, connecting Europe with Asia, Africa, and beyond. In the end, the growth of trade routes during the High Middle Ages turned local markets into parts of a larger network. This network carried exotic and everyday goods across continents, creating the early stages of a world economy. It was a time when distant lands became part of everyday life, thanks to the expanding reach of trade.